One family, one people, one planet, one love, one family, one people, one planet, one love.
Good morning and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero. I'm the founder and spiritual director of SoulCall Ministries, and it is a great honor to be with you this morning as we are right on the cusp of ushering in autumn, lots of changes, of going within. And today the talk is on allowing. And we're going to dip into some of the very amazing things that happened over the weekend here in the United States, but also in conjunction with this global pandemic, which persists. And you may have noticed at the end of our programs, we've been incorporating a Qigong practice. But this week, we're going to switch it up a little bit and give you a chance to get very centered and grounded where you are, bringing in all of the energies that are pulsating around us at all times. And this process of allowing first begins with recognizing that we are always connected to Source. We have within us the divine potential to become gods as humans, meaning we have access to all of the information in the universe. And this process of allowing first begins with knowing how to tap in, to feel that energy, to have it, I like to say, get full of yourselves. When was the last time you heard that? Most of the time, people are trying to keep your voice down or to keep you sidelined. But today and throughout the rest of the year, as we go within, as within, so without, it's going to make us more fully realized with our potential. And to grow into that potential, to be fully human, is to participate from your soul's calling with the journey of your life on planet Earth as a divine being in human form. There's no limitation there. So we're going to invite Sifu Helen Yi to begin with a Qigong practice. So stand up, if you will, and allow yourself to pull in the energy. And from there, we'll go into a meditation, which Taya Zuckerman will lead us in this morning.
Hi, my name is Helen. Welcome to my warm-up Qigong practice this morning. And I would like to show you some breathing exercises that would help move the Qi and circulate it. And it's one of the most important exercises for Qigong or internal energy system work. So here's the first one. Go ahead and feel yourself grounded in both legs. Relax the shoulders, relax the body. And from here, go ahead and raise your arms up to the sky as you inhale. And now guiding down the central channel of the body, slightly bending the knees, bringing all that good Qi, and exhaling out any stagnation. Coming up again, bringing in all the vitality of Qi, and now guiding it down the central channel of the body, filling it with good Qi, healthy, vibrant Qi. Again, coming up, breathing in, breathing out, seeing and visualizing all that good Qi coming in, filling up the body, all the trillions of cells, pushing out any stagnation or blockages. We don't want any of that, because that can cause illness and disease. So we want to just bring in all that good energy, filling it into all the different systems of the body, exhaling out, pushing out any impure Qi. Coming up again, inhaling and gliding down, exhaling, feeling all that good Qi movement and circulating, collecting and gathering. And bringing it down again. And you can do this for as long as you want. From here, another exercise is place your left or right foot, doesn't matter, shoulder width apart. This is called a front stance. And you're going to bring your arms extended in front. And you're going to shift the weight to the back leg as you inhale, bringing the arms outwards. And then exhale, shifting the weight to the front leg. This is a good visual of seeing how much capacity of oxygen you are bringing into all 4 quadrants of your lungs. Inhaling, shifting the weight, and exhaling. That's it. One more time. And you can do this for as long as you want to as well. Here we go. And another one would be the bear. So this one's about emptying and filling the legs and keeping a level head as you do certain practices. You want to keep a level stance. And this is what's called the bear. And you're just going to stimulate meridian channels and point the torso. And bring your arms up here, relaxing them like what? Noodles. And this is so relaxing. You can do this standing in line, like at the BMV, for example, for 2 hours. Just kidding. But at least people will keep social distance from you because they don't know what you're doing. Okay, very good. Now, to end it, there's an exercise you can do to just kind of stimulate certain points on the body. So keep your hands and fingers loose. And what you want to do is tap on your face, into the forehead, up into the crown, skull area. It's also called the byway. Into the back area of your head. Do it again if you'd like. And then from here, you want to bring your hands as cups. And you're going to do cupping on your arms, on the inside and the outside, outside, inside. And coming over to the other side. Some explosive clapping, wake you up in the morning. And then bring your hands into fists, loose fists. Don't want to hurt yourself. And just kind of come on down into the lower part of the legs. Side of the leg. Back into the back area where the kidney points are. The Ming Men, that's what they're called. And also called the gateway of life. And just stand. You can do some standing meditation, feeling that good energy, that tingling, and just starting your day off to a good start. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Helen. And I was thinking about when Helen was talking about cupping, I'm doing a little bit of cupping of my own here with my notorious RBG mug. And my form of cupping in the morning is with coffee in it because it helps. So here's to you. Are you feeling more energized? Are you feeling that pulsating light in your bodies? We have access to this energy all the time. And it's just our process of allowing ourselves to remember. It's a process of remembering. And in that, we're going to go into a beautiful meditation. I'd like to invite Natalia Zuckerman to join me now. She's going to, hi.
Hi.
Welcome from the beach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm down
So,
on the Delaware shore.
The Delaware Shore. Beautiful.
For sure.
For sure. So tell us what you're going to share with us from a tradition.
Well, yeah, first I'll say Shana Tova, Happy New Year to those of you who celebrate the Jewish New Year. And right now the time period between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is known as the Days of Awe. It's 10 days. And this month, actually, of Elul is the return. So we get to return to ourselves. We return the fields back to the land after the harvest. And it's a really beautiful time of deep, deep reflection. So I wanted to share a beautiful blessing that marked the beginning of this month. Rosh Hodesh is the first day of Elul, and this is a blessing for that day, by Kohenet Ilana Joy Strait. She writes, "May we turn and return to glimpses of beauty and truth. May this month and the year ahead be a time of compassion and grace. May healing show the way. May our footsteps show the way. May new melodies guide us. May we lend each other faith as if it was a cup of sugar, because it is. May we bake muffins of kindness, pies of gentleness, brownies of generosity. May this year be so sweet that it inspires a new profession, spiritual dentistry. May we be well midwifed this year. May we be the ones that our shadows have been waiting for this year. May we tend altars of forgiveness and drink often from their waters. May our breadcrumbs feed the birds of transformation. May there be a week in this coming year when all we read is children's books. And may these next 40 days be a time when we clean all of our own and each other's mirrors. May we then dance about, and may we write our own lives. May moonlight shine upon our joy and celebration and blessed sleep this year. May we enter into this turning time whole. May it be a time of mending quilts and returning long borrowed books. May it be a time of flowing ink from the pens of wisdom and flowing tears from the eyes of hope.
So beautiful. Take that in.
Let's share a beautiful song that we love to sing together. It's called Ose Shalom. It's a traditional song. In the traditional, the words say, "May there be peace in Israel as there is in heaven," but we have changed it to say, "May there be peace on earth."
Thank you.
Oh, say shalom, b'roma. Oh, yes, say shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol ha'olam. Bimru, amen. Oh, say shalom, b'roma. Oh, yes, say shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol ha'olam. Vimru, amen. Oh, yes, say shalom. Oh, yes, say shalom. Shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol ha'olam. Oh, yes, say shalom. Oh, yes, say shalom. Shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol ha'olam. Oh, yes, say shalom. Oh, yes, say shalom. Shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol ha'olam. Oh, yes, say shalom. Oh, yes, say shalom. Shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol ha'olam.
Just allowing that to the beauty of the poetry and the melody, just to awaken ourselves to pure beauty, pure love, pure truth. And this weekend was Rosh Hashanah begins, and it was also the 100th anniversary of Paramahansa Yogananda coming to the United States, who's considered the father of yoga in the West here, bringing spiritual teachings that sparked many of the new thought philosophies that are in the West right now. And also with the transition, I wanted to invite Natalia, if you want to jump back in here for one more second. And thank you. And tell us the significance of Ruth Bader Ginsburg's transitioning during this time.
It's said that somebody who transitions on Rosh Hashanah is a tzaddik, which is a word that is reserved for biblical figures or high spiritual priests and priestesses. And it comes from the same word that's the root for tzedakah, which is when we give, it's charity. But the word actually means righteous. And so,
And
great
justice.
wisdom and justice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that. You're our scholar this
Being
morning.
your resident Jew. It's
Thank you very much.
See you later.
See you a little later.
Lots of
Bye. Love you. Bye. Okay. Yeah. So, how do these things go together in the process of allowing? In the as Natalia was sharing with us over the next 10 days, the giving the earth back after the harvest, we allow it to go back within and rejuvenate, regeneration of the cells, and it calls for us to do the same thing as we move through nature with the cycles. You know, we are one with the earth, we are one with the planet, we are one with the source that powers all of it. So this process of allowing is allowing ourselves to become fully realized in this lifetime. And I think about the new beginnings, the new year, and then the new beginnings of, let's say, Yogananda bringing this new thought, these new ideas that are ancient. They surpass the time of, Jesus. I was thinking about that, like, and how we have two different or more markings of what the new year is and what year we are actually in, and depending on whose calendar. And I think, Jesus wasn't really ego driven. So I think it's kind of interesting that they started a whole new calendar of time based on Jesus. I don't know that he would have been cool with that. I don't even know that he would care. But the point is, no matter what time you think it is, there's the only time that is really existing is right now. Our point of power is right now. And it's important to remember history so that we can get clear about what is ours to do in our process of allowing. We each have the potential, as Yogananda pointed out, to become self-realized and self-reliant, as Emerson would say. Emerson urged, his key points from self-reliance were, he urged his readers to follow their individual will, or your soul's calling is what I would call that now. Following your soul's calling. Before we had this impress of other people's thoughts and ideas and what society deemed normal or the right way, a lot of that is about controlling us and hurting us, into a consciousness where it is a hoarding consciousness too. They pull funds. Anytime there's a resource available that somebody's withholding just for monetary gain only, that's a misguided approach to serving the whole and even serving the self, because it limits the idea of what is possible if you allow for the infinite to supply you. So no person, place, or thing has your good. You have it within your own soul. And going within and becoming fully realized, that's the way to do it. Right now, there are many people who, in the United States, we have an election coming up. And it's important to remember, people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who found her voice and allowed herself to step to the front. I was reminded that one of her quotes was, "I'd rather be a bitch than a mouse." If that's what you're going to be called for, speaking your voice, this is to all you women. Speak your voice, speak your word, speak your truth while you can. If you are in a position working as a female, other than as a teacher or a nurse, you can thank Ruth Bader Ginsburg for that. A lot of the rights and the things that we kind of just take for granted was because people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg shaped her own capacity by her inner calling to be of service, not just to self, but to other, in a really, really powerful way. So get jazzed on that. And if you don't know who she really is and what she has accomplished in a lifetime, you owe it to yourself to partake of some of the fabulous documentaries. It's this new beginning. It's this process of allowing you to become fully who you are. If you transform the self, you could transform thousands, because we won't be as worried about what people say. I remember when I was 9 years old, it's when I fully realized that I wanted to be a priest, I thought, because to my experience up to 9 years old, the closest representative, or the person that seemed to have the closest contact, that was allowed to talk about God all the time, they were the priests. Then I realized, because I was in a female form this time, that was not an option for me. So that didn't work. So that's when I realized about, okay, these things don't line up. If I feel that I'm connected to source all the time, why can't I talk about it just because I'm a girl? So I started to ask more questions maybe than the average bear, but I think we all get there. I think we all get there on this path of fully realizing and allowing ourselves to become what we are. You know, we have the potential to become it. It doesn't mean that you're going to show up as this perfect, whole, and complete human all the time, even though we have within us the potential to do that. It reminds me of when I was in high school. As a freshman in high school, I tried out for the varsity volleyball team. Now, any of you who know me in person, I'm not the tallest person you've ever met. I'm not short, but I'm not tall. And there were some people who went out for the volleyball team, you know, who were taller than I was. And it got down to it, and it wasn't my first sport, but I was a good athlete. So the coach picked me for the team over. It came down to two people. And she pulled me aside and she said something to me. She said, I picked you for potential because you're a good athlete. I know you'll get it. I picked you for potential. And that hit me so deeply, because she saw something in me that I didn't quite have command of yet, but with a proper attention. And for me, the discipline to work, I worked harder than anybody on that team to become proficient. And I became a pretty decent volleyball player. I wasn't world class. I wasn't an Olympic athlete volleyball player, but I was pretty darn good. But I had to work at uncovering that potential and getting to where it was. So it is not without discipline, getting to be this place where when we allow ourselves to become fully realized, there's a discipline that goes forth. So I had to practice really hard. I had to work really hard. I became the best server on the team. And it was something that I took great pride in, because I was able to work with myself. You know, like Helen Yee just taught us how to pull in the energy. I had to harness that within and bring it forth and share it without. So it's an inner journey that I encourage us all to take in one form or another, but get yourself in the game. In order for me to get myself into that game, I had to learn how to work with what I had and to bring it forth and to make what I had better. I uncovered my potential to become a volleyball player. Now I've uncovered my potential to become a singer, to do all these other things. And now here we are with SoulCall Ministries, to take that leap of faith, to step into it. And there are many who are supporting our vision of each individual's path to the infinite is your soul's calling. There's no one way to do it. The one way for you is your way. But allowing ourselves to be in a society that gives permission for this experience, you know, allowing yourself to speak up. You know, if that's getting the vote out, you must vote. It's your voice. And again, I said it last week, but if somewhere along the line somebody convinced you that your voice doesn't matter, your lack of voting is voting. You're voting to not say anything. So get full of yourselves. Get full of yourselves. And we've got some classes coming up in autumn. We're going to be teaching part of the Abraham Hicks path, the vortex. There's going to be more information on the website about that. But it's also going to lead into the mystical path, that path of transformation, and what happens when we go from believing that we're this limited ego into the full realization that our soul is infinite, tuning into the infinite guidance of the ones that came before us. Erika Luckett in her song Dust said, we're gods in ruins, gods in the making. And living from spirit like that. I wrote a song called Seldom Seen, Seldom Heard, which we'll listen to in a minute. But it's about, who will share this path with me when these walls fall down, when these things that were keeping us guided and telling us you go here, then you go there, and this rubric of consciousness, we've already kind of been brainwashed in a way, taking that helmet off and becoming fully who we are and what we have access to with this force of the soul is what we're called to do in human form, and to just be in it and participate with it. When the walls fall down, who feels free? Some people are just overwhelmed with possibility, and they think, oh my God, there's so much choice. But when you stay in alignment with the Godhead, Goddess, Source, Spirit, when you stay in divine alignment, the next step is the obvious one. And you're divinely guided the whole way. You're never out there flailing and just floating around on your own. And it's a beautiful feeling of allowing for infinite possibilities. You're just entertaining more of an opportunity to play with things you might have never even thought of, but allowing that to fill in. The other thing on self-reliance from Emerson, as we're falling into transitions and new beginnings, and going within to bring forth something new, was following one's own voice rather than an intermediary, such as a church. So SoulCall will not tell you what to think, how to think. We'll just offer ways for you to remember that you already know how to think and that you're already connected to Source. So at SoulCall, our mission is to just uncover all of that and to help people remember who you are, who we are, what we're here to become. That's up to you. It's like your dream. Next week, we're going to be talking about daydreaming in the cosmos and just pulling in a larger scope of opportunity to play and live. So allowing yourself to dive deep, listening to spirit, and imagining the outpicturing of a world that we can create when we don't believe that there's a limited amount of resources, and that if I have my piece of pie, that means you can't have yours. That's what keeps us apart, these fears, letting go of fear and the idea that we need to be controlled somehow. We don't. The only thing that we can control is our response or our reaction to incoming stimuli. So if our poise remains intact in the face of adversity, we know that we are operating from spirit. And meditation is the key. Meditation is the key. Even if you do 5 minutes of just tuning in, this past weekend to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Yogananda coming to the United States, they did a 24-hour meditation starting yesterday morning at 10 a.m. So earlier this morning, like around 7, I tuned in for 24 minutes. I didn't do 24 hours. I didn't have the whole weekend to do that. But I think I've said it before to you. One of my goals is to try to meditate 24 hours straight. And who knows what will happen. But it's tough, but it's not the point. You don't need 24 hours. If you did 24 minutes, if you did 2.4 minutes of just getting in sync, like practicing a Qigong, pulling in the light and energizing your cells and your body and puffing them out full with light, you will carry yourself in a different way. I carry myself differently since I've started to meditate. And you don't get caught up in somebody else's dream. You'll be living your own dreamer's consciousness as you participate with the one. So let's take this in. And here's a song called Seldom Seen, Seldom Heard that I wrote this song, oh my gosh, in the early 1990s. I recorded it in 1996 or something like that. It's on my CD Balance. Enjoy.
your love does to me. Whoa, yeah. Your love, yeah. It's you make my feet touch the earth. You remind me of my birth, but I'm seldom seen, seldom heard. You know I'm seldom seen, seldom heard. And these words that I say, once they're out, you can't take them away. No, no. So all these things that I do, though they're only a reflection of the me and you, I know it sounds absurd, but I'm seldom seen, seldom heard. Baby, baby, don't you despair, 'cause as long as you love me, I will stick around here. But while I converge, I'll be seldom seen, seldom heard. I don't expect to be understood by all those good people, the people of this world, but that's the way it goes. When you're seldom seen, seldom heard. And all these words that I say, once they're out, you can't take them away. No, no. Said all the things that I do, no, they're only a reflection of me and you. I know it sounds absurd, but I'm seldom seen, seldom heard. Said I'm seldom seen, seldom heard.
Whew. Seldom seen, seldom heard. It's just an experience of when you live with spirit speaking through you. The ego self is hardly ever there, but you're present. You're more present than ever. That's what that song was saying when I wrote it, and recognizing you're not always going to be understood if you're a visionary and you're on the leading edge of it. And there's never been a time like the present. Right now, we're seeing and experiencing things on the edge of a new vibrational dimensional reality. And we've been talking about it for thousands of years, perhaps. You know, in Jesus's time, maybe you think not as many people were talking about enlightenment as are today, meaning we have definitely evolved. So allow yourself, when you go within, allow yourself to feel your feelings and ask them to inform you and to be divinely guided in every step, in every step. And know that in the process of it, you are loved and you are held always in the infinite hands of grace. And if you are in need of prayer this week, it's been a bit of a shake-up weekend for some people. And as the global pandemic continues on, we're receiving many prayer requests. And we are here for you at SoulCall Ministries. Prayers at SoulCallMinistries.org. Prayers at SoulCallMinistries.org. And one of our professional prayer people, Mary Deneen, wrote a fantastic article, just an offering in our newsletter. What is prayer and does it work? I encourage you to click on that, or if you're not signed up for our newsletter, you may do that at soulcallministries.org. It's a fantastic newsletter. We ask you to share us with your friends on YouTube, and we invite you to like our Facebook page. If you're watching us, share us with at least 10 of your friends and ask them to share with 10. Our goal is to get more subscribers by the end of the year. We'd like to have 500 to 1,000 on our YouTube channel. This is completely doable. With your help, we appreciate it. Also, your donations help us to help others. So no donation is too small or too large. And we've been on the receiving end of a constant stream of donations. Some of you are signing up to do automatic payments once a month. We really appreciate that. It's soulcallministries.org/donate. And you can Venmo us your donations as well. You can send checks. There's information on the website, soulcallministries.org/donate. Thank you so much. We're helping to provide meals for students who aren't able to get into the schools yet. And we're doing some other things. We help some animal shelters. So we're doing things in the Columbus area and other areas too. So we invite you to partake. This week, again, on Wake Up with Consciousness Cafe on Wisdom Wednesday, I've invited back Dr. Sharna Olfman, who's a psychologist whose specialty is in developmental psychology. And she's written a fabulous series called Childhood in America. And we're talking this week specifically about the millennial group, older children who are moving back home with parents because of the pandemic situation, and just how to navigate through this time if you're a parent or you have a child who's struggling right now, as many Americans are. We invite you to watch Wake Up with the Consciousness Cafe from last week or this week, and please share it with your friends. There's more information about Dr. Olfman on the website, and she is available for counseling as well. So we invite you to help yourself, learn a little bit more about your situation. And her overall message was kind of that of compassion and letting ourselves off the hook. So next week, it's going to be Daydreaming in the Cosmos, and we invite you to join us again. Please share us with your friends. Know that you are a valuable part of SoulCall Ministries, and waking up each soul's expression, one individual at a time, is our mission. And wherever you are, know that you are loved. Many blessings.